That is our target. Advance your positions just as we trained.
Engaging wings retraction.
She's a real beauty.
It looks brand spanking new inside.
Hello DP community, and welcome to your final Inner Space 2 episode. Today we close out the public version of the project by jumping over to the port side and visiting the Lochnar Refit's new auxiliary bay. Oh, and for those of you who watch until the end, this episode includes the first ever public peek into the new starboard observation deck. If you've not yet watched Part 3A, which concerns the bay on the starboard side, that context will greatly simplify today's discussion. So pause this video and attend to Part 3A first. It's a quick watch. Both Inner Space 1 and 2 were successful in attracting your involvement and inspiring some real clever ideas. You need only browse through the comments over the past few years to appreciate this. However, this 3B segment of Inner Space 2 really shined because one fan in particular was motivated to get really involved after watching the Part 2 episode. That was the second video in this new series, where we explored some early ideas and actually began scratch building some spaces. If you recall, the very same process unfolded during Inner Space 1, where my rough layouts in the second episode were enough to get the community focused and thinking. The origins of Part 3B began here, when Scott Williams got busy thinking about an idea he had and how it might be a perfect marriage for the new bay plans. Our creative collaboration quickly took hold as we found ourselves simultaneously working on separate projects, but with the understanding that we would find ways to make them come together. At the outset, Scott had a rough understanding of the interior space limitations, and so he proposed a more compact realization of the killer bee concept. His version would be a smaller module attachment with a folding wing design so that the USS Phobos could realistically stow several in her new auxiliary bay. Now, as Scott's build ideas became more precise, it then became easier for me to attack the new space. I could design the auxiliary bay as an interior where 6 striker bees would be parked. After Scott wrapped and delivered his finished design, Delimited Productions then refined and developed the mesh into a 3D object more suitable for filming. As I remember, Scott took about 2 weeks on his version, and then I followed up with about another 2 weeks of work. If you're a patron, channel member, or even a coffee tipper, a 4K technical sheet for this striker bee will soon be available as a media perk. The portside auxiliary bay had the same floor impact that was discussed in Part 3A. However, this bay was always going to be a place where things were stowed, and this informed the need for flat surfaces, the ramp, and the platforms. The biggest difference really is that this auxiliary bay uses the entire hull segment. You might not have noticed, but the starboard MMB was designed to be symmetrical around its door, whereas this portside bay maximizes local volume. You can see how the space to the left of the door is deeper than on the right side. The left side is so deep, in fact, that it can accommodate a dedicated worker bee and some grabber arms. Hopefully the grander production value of this episode makes perfect sense to you now. Part 3B isn't just about the Lochnar Refit's new bay. The new Striker B is a legit asset for future play. Thus, Inner Space 2 has given us not one, but two cool additions to Star Trek's fan canon universe. So I hope you'll join me in extending Scott Williams your likes and appreciation. He and his company deserve acknowledgement for stepping up with such a significant contribution. As always, thanks to all of you, too, for participating in the long creative journey. Inner Space 2 was quite heavy and extended, but I hope you enjoyed it as much as the first Inner Space adventure. I continue to feel proud of the viewing room that many of you played a part in shaping back in 2020. Likewise, I hope you come away from Inner Space 2 with some sense of creation and resolution, having now watched the two new base spaces evolve from literally nothing. Stay well, and remember to like the DP videos you watch so that YouTube is more likely to suggest similar content in the future. Until next time, this is Antimatter.